Howdy, 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 and more howdy to you. It is a thrill to come before you, I would say tonight, because the show is aired in the evening, or should I say at night. But we are doing a part 2. Part 1 was so good, so inspiring, that we knew that we had to do a part 2 because we want to make sure that everybody is blessed. And of course, I didn't change from my first attire. I still got my first attire on, and I thought about changing my wig. My wig, but I said, what the heck? Part 2. This is part 2 of a 2-part series that I am interviewing Tommie Mabry, and he is a middle school teacher. He is an inspirational and motivational speaker, as well as an author, and he has authored his first book entitled A Dark Journey to a Light Future. He has such a powerful testimony, and on the last show we left off with him telling about this woman he met in the store. She judged him by his tattoo. Y'all, I was so flabbergasted that I couldn't go on. I just couldn't go on. So we are going to briefly start out once again with that particular story, and then we are going to talk a little bit more about this book, and we are going to talk about some of the places that he go around and speak to, and a variety of other things, because this is a 2-part show. Okay, Tommie, welcome back.
Pleasure.
All right. So as I was saying, I was so flabbergasted of the last show, the way it ended about the woman, and I briefly want you to tell that again about you going to the store and how this woman just judged you because of the tattoos on your body, and plus you said you had a hat on and all of that.
Right.
So tell us just a bit more about how that happened.
It started off, it was late night. I'm not always dressed in my
yeah,
clothes.
Believe me, I can understand that.
It was late night. I went in Walmart. I was going to get a phone charger because I was getting on the road the next day. So I come up to the counter. She was the cashier. She said, well, sir, we have some pencils and paper in the back. I was like, for what? She was like, so you can start writing on your skin. She said, looking like that, you will never find a good job. I said, well, man, what if I tell you I'm a college graduate? I graduated with honors. I'm a teacher in JPS. I'm an author and I'm a motivational speaker. She said, I wouldn't believe that in a million years. So I went to the car, got my book, I signed it, I put it on the thing and said, God bless. I made it to the door. She ran behind me crying. Oh. She was just, you can see the hurt inside her, but I didn't take it as, I wasn't mad about it.
Because I'm pretty sure you get that from time to time.
Right, but I said, never let your eyes make a heart decision. Like, you'll never know what I stand for until you actually talk to me. So I think she took something from it, and I also did too. I took something from it to pass on to other people, right, because you can't be judgmental. And
I'm pretty sure she took something from it too, not to judge someone by their outer appearance.
Right.
I guess next time she would think before she speak.
Right. Like, everything that look good ain't good, and everything that look bad ain't bad. Like, chillings taste good, but they look bad.
I know.
That's just an example. Chillings smell bad, but taste good to me.
They are delectable with some hot sauce.
Right.
I don't eat them anymore, but they are good.
So you can't be judgmental. You'll lose out on a lot.
So when, again, you said you took something from that, so it really didn't hurt your feelings that she assumed.
I forgave her before she said it.
Really?
I forgave her before she said it. When you become a child of God, you let a lot of stuff go.
That's true. And that's interesting, because when you said at the age of 17 you turned your life over to God, that was in the first part 1.
Yes,
Did you lose any friends along the way when that happened? Because I know sometimes you have people, when they turn their life over to Christ, they have a tendency of losing friends.
Right. One thing you got to know in life, to get to another place that you've never been, you got to do something you've never done.
Wow.
And if that takes letting go of a situation, or if that even means letting go of a person, in order for you to get to a place that you want to go, it's certain things you got to let go. So the things that I was doing and the people that I was with and what I'm doing now, I just can't take them with me.
And you realize that, hey, I'm not trying
to push off and say that I'm better than you or nothing, but we on 2 different roads. Your lifestyle and my lifestyle are 2 different things. Now, we might meet up again and we speak and say, hey, but what I'm doing now, I can't bring you with me, because we doing 2 different things. It's just like if I've been married 17 times and you've been married one time and I had 7 different wives, and you come to me for advice when your relationship mess up. Come on, I've been married 17 times. What kind of advice you think I'm finna give you? I'm finna say, look, leave her, let's go to the next. So watch who you get your advice from.
Great.
So what I'm doing now, I just can't bring them with me. And I love all my old friends. We see each other in the street, but it's a place for it now.
So you don't go back down that road.
I don't go back down
because now you have a new life.
A new life, but I still visit my neighborhood. I still love everybody from my neighborhood.
Because have you ever heard people would say, I mean, when you have gotten up there, they would say, don't forget where you came from.
Right. I love my neighborhood to this day. My neighborhood made me. Regardless if it was a bad neighborhood or not, it showed me the wrongs. And it showed me how to do wrong to the point where I can only do right.
And you found your purpose.
Right.
Because a lot of people never find their purpose in life, but you found your purpose in life.
And I started off thinking basketball was my purpose. But now that I look back, basketball was my hobby that led me to my purpose, which is my purpose is ministering to kids. But at first I thought it was all about basketball. That's why I said my ways didn't work. And
when your ways didn't work and you realized that, you decided, well, let me do what will work. And when God revealed to you what he wanted you to do, when he gave you that vision, it was to certainly, be a blessing to younger people.
Right. What I take from that, even though I did all of this stuff growing up, God saw me as a published author then. And when they say God, if you want to make God laugh, tell them your plans. If I had ever knew that God would have had me as an author, I would have told my teachers, look, I'm going to be an author when I grow up.
They would have said, yeah, right.
He saw me, even though I was that disturbed growing up, he still saw me as a published author to this day. That's amazing. That make you want to just live life happy, stress-free, just to know that he got me.
And that you are making a difference in the lives of so many people. When we come back, we are going to talk about some of the places. And then we are going to talk more about the book, where the book can be purchased and all of that. But we want to talk about where are some of the places that you go around and speak.
Right.
All right. And some of the people that you have met along the way, like Tommie Ford, and I'm pretty sure you have probably met quite a few other people that are well known out there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, we'll be right back. For more information about tonight's guest, Tommie Mabry, speaking engagements, and purchase a book, log on to www.tommiemabry.com or www.amazon.com or email tommiemabry@yahoo.com. We are back with Tommie Mabry. And Tommie, every time I think about your last name, I think about Mayberry, but I know it's not Mayberry.
Yes, ma'am.
Mabry. And before we went on break, I said I want to talk about some of the places where you go around and speak and some of the people that you have met along the way. But before we do that, during the break, we were talking about, of course, you had made mention quite a few times that you love your neighborhood, but how can you look down on people when God got you out of that situation?
Right. The thing is, why I say I love my neighborhood, because you can't judge people off something you used to be. You can't, and it's very crazy that a person make a judgment on something that God just helped them with.
I know.
So that's just like if I go to my neighborhood and I look down on the young males in the neighborhood, how could I do that if I was once them? So the best thing that I can do for them is try to teach them or show them a different way. I can't look at them and just give up on them.
Write them off. Just completely write them off.
Somebody could have did me that way.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't have never been able to. The people that helped me, like, for example, my AAU coach, all my coaches, I don't want to leave them all out. Everybody that was inspirational to me, like Tommie Ford from the Martin Show, that's my mentor.
Really?
He did a lot for me, because one thing he showed me growing up, I met him in high school. And that was right after I got shot. He told me, after I asked him for advice.
Well, did he come down to one of the schools?
We had a engagement at Bailey Magnet. Okay. And he came, he was the guest speaker. And after the show, he saw me limping because I had just got shot in my foot. I came to him, I asked him for advice because I was just lost. He told me, he said, never use a situation around you for an excuse not to succeed. He gave me so much stuff to go off. He gave me his number. He said if I ever had a problem to call him. And what he don't know is I was going to call him every time I had a problem.
Really? Every time?
And the thing about it, you would think of a celebrity that you see on TV. I saw him on Martin every day. Every time Martin came on, I'm like, for this guy to answer the phone every time I call, or if he couldn't get to the phone, he'll call back whenever he's able to and just give me advice and tell me what I can do. Amazing.
So you had that reassurance on what you can do.
Right. And a lot of people in my life that was inspiration, like my spiritual coach, Pastor Pickett from New Jerusalem. He helped me with a lot of things. Like I started surrounding myself with people that could help me. And that's how I became an author. I mean, people showed me ways.
Yeah, because when did this come about? So I know we were going to talk about it in the third segment, but since you brought it up.
The reason I started writing, because I already beat the odds. I wanted to go outside of my element. I had a testimony. I said, what's the best way to do it? I see a lot of rappers do it. I mean, a lot of rappers put their testimony through their music. I said, but let me just try something different. Do something that people don't think that I can do. So I started writing that book because the real reason I wrote the book is because I can go speak to kids around the United States, but you only get a certain amount of time to speak. Right. And it's like, maybe I might be speaking in Memphis, but it's a guy in California that really need to hear my story. I said, if I write a book, it can speak for me when I'm not there.
Exactly.
And even when I die, the best thing about it, when I'm gone, my book will still be here, so the message will still be concrete. So I said, I got to put that on. I got to put it in a book. When I started writing, I prayed about it. I started writing. I ain't looked back yet.
Really? And like you said, when you are long gone, the book is still relevant. Still relevant.
It's amazing. A Dark Journey to a Life Future. And it explains, if you can turn it around, you will see I was once this guy on this dark road. Everything that I thought didn't work. Every ideal I tried didn't work. But when I see God, he took me from a dark journey to a life future. And it's so amazing because I even have teachers and superintendents call me asking me how could we get that in the school system for summer reading.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. And like I said, it's a message inside that book. It's so amazing because it shows you it don't matter where you came from. If you put God first, he gonna take you somewhere.
And it's good, especially for young African American males. It's good that they see, okay, he went through this, and if he can do it, and I think that's what they were saying well, I would say yesterday, even though the show was aired a few weeks later. If Tommie can do it, I can do it.
Yes, ma'am.
If Tommie can do it, I can do it.
It's amazing.
So you got to get that in their spirit,
right,
where they can believe it. And when they got somebody coming from the same neighborhood, even if you wasn't from the same neighborhood, but the thing is, you have been through some things, and you can give that testimony.
I think the reason why I'm able to touch a lot of kids, because some kids won't listen to you. But what you have to do as an adult, if you can get on a child level, because sometimes you got to get on the child level. When you can get a child attention, they'll listen to anything you got to say. You wonder why some people claim rap to be the reason why crime is.
Right. I don't know how they gonna put all of that up on rap, because our rap music isn't bad.
I listen to
or
rap.
Negative.
I listen to rap, and I'm still everything that I just named. But it's amazing how rappers can get children to act out, because that's where the child attention is at. If you can get a child attention no matter what you doing, if you can get a child attention, they'll listen to anything you say. So I guess when I go out and speak, they see my appearance and they hear my voice, and they just attach to see what I'm gonna say. But when you able to give them positive feedback, they listen to any. I done had kids to grab my leg when I leave from speaking and just tell me how much I done did to their life. A little guy told me I did something that his family could never do. He said he was almost on that road just like me. He said, "Sir, I heard you speak and you did something to me that my father couldn't do."
Wow.
I almost broke down just to
I
hear
know,
him.
To know that your testimony is really touching a life.
I wouldn't give it back for nothing. It's like when I go out and speak, it's like my adrenaline be rushing so hard. Like I want to do it so bad, and then it's not even about the fame from it, the money. If you can make an impact on a child's life, it'll last more than any dollar you ever make.
Wow. Because in turn, that particular person can help somebody.
Right.
That person can reach somebody that you probably hadn't been able to reach. So you are right. You can reach somebody, then that person who may never hear about you, but may be able to listen to this other person that you help.
Right. I tell them when I go speak to follow my 4 B's, the Tommie Mabry 4 B's. Be confident, be determined, be motivated, and be yourself. If you can self-motivate yourself and you can look in the mirror and say, I'd rather stand out than fit in, I can be myself and still make, you don't have to worry about the outside, because people going to judge you if you're doing
regardless,
good or bad.
Really.
You can ask 1,000 people something about me, you'll get 1,000 different opinions.
For real.
But it wouldn't matter if you can tell yourself that. So I don't even listen to the negativity. If I hear it, I take it and motivate myself and say, let me go out and show something else. Let me do something. And it's not to prove to them, because I'm not trying to prove to nobody. But when I hear something bad about me, I ask myself, now, what could I do positive to reevaluate that what he said about me? So it's like, I don't look forward to hearing it, but I know it's going to come.
It's going to come.
But I got so much motivation inside of me that I can't.
And I like that when you said self-motivation, but we are going to come back and continue along this pathway, and we're going to find out where can this book be purchased. All right. We'll be right back. For more information about tonight's guest, Tommie Mabry, speaking engagements, and purchase a book, log on to www.tommiemabry.com or www.amazon.com or email tommiemabry@yahoo.com. A Dark Journey to a Light Future by Tommie Mabry. Okay, let's see. This book.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we may forget to make mention of where can this book be purchased.
You can actually get that book from Amazon, anywhere that's a book retail online. You can just either Google A Dark Journey to a Light Future or my website, which is www.tommiemabry.com. That's Tommie with an I-E instead of a Y, MABRY.com. Or you can either email me and I'll explain to you how to get it at tommiemabry@yahoo.com, or you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook. But the best way, you can Google A Dark Journey to a Light Future and it'll take you to any book retail, Books A Million, anywhere they sell books, it'll be on there. Do you plan
on writing any more books in the future?
Whatever God has for me. I don't even plan no more. If he give me a vision, I'm gonna take it. So a lot of people ask me, what's next? What's next? I didn't even know that was in my journey. So anything he has for me to do next is for me.
Now, where are some of the places that you do go out and speak?
I speak at churches, schools, organizations that have anywhere that I go anywhere. But my main where I do a lot of speaking at is in school systems and churches. And
during your tour, you are going to what places?
I have a 20-city tour that I'm going on. It's going to schoolhouses, a lot of churches, doing book signings at the schools and churches, just everywhere.
So you're going to be speaking, and then you're also going to be presenting your book.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty good, Tommie. Pretty good. Because, as I said many times, you certainly have a compelling testimony. Now, someone asked earlier, either it was during this show or maybe during the last show that I don't think we made mention of, but they wanted to know when you said that you were kicked out of schools. How many schools were you kicked out of?
I was actually kicked out of several schools, and I think if I can count them on hand, I don't want to go through the school. it was at least 7 or 8.
Wow.
7 or 8, and that's just in the elementary part of it. In middle school, I was kicked out of 4 elementary, so that's a total of probably like 9 or 10 schools.
Gosh, I'm pretty sure at that time some of those teachers were like, oh, I did do substitute teaching, and it was a challenge. It's not for me. I know teaching isn't for me, and you got to have a love for it. I mean, at least if not, well, you need a love for it. I guess that's in any profession, you need a love for it, but especially with school, you are dealing with children, and children can really test your last nerve. So you really have to, well, you need a passion for it.
You gotta have a passion to teach, and I don't blame the school system for kicking, because it was really me. I have to say it was me, because it was hard to just teach me. regardless of you taking the challenge, I was just that disturbed. So it took me to go through what I was going. So now that I'm teaching, I see them exact children. And it's my job to show them what they can be in life.
And the interesting thing you said too was that the school where you are now, one of your co-workers, I guess was she your teacher or what?
I have a co-worker that I actually was bad in her class, and now that I'm her co-worker, and that just show you how good God has been. I was once I tore her class up at times, but now I'm also her co-worker.
Wow. And then you also make mention of how some of the children will want you to sign certain items.
I love my children at Whitten Middle School. I love them because everywhere they supported the book the day it dropped.
Really?
And they came up to me, they would ask me to sign this and sign that. And you think like, how a teacher do all this in school?
Did they actually read? Have some of the students say they read the whole book?
I have a lot of kids that have read the whole book, and they knew me because I didn't know me around town from speaking. I actually spoke at the school that I work at the year before I even started working there. I spoke there and then got hired 2 months after.
Really?
I got hired 2 months after I spoke at the school. So a lot of students knew me when I came there. And the first day they ran up to me like, there go Mr. Tougaloo who spoke here.
Mr. Tougaloo.
Yes,
how long do you carry that crown up until somebody else is
to me,
elected?
I carry that crown forever. but I was Mr. Tougaloo for 2010, 2011. But in me, it was so big to me that I carry that crown regardless of I'm not in school. I represent Tougaloo College, and I'm trying to do a good job at it. I love my college to the fullest.
Tougaloo, a school teacher,
yes, ma'am.
A middle school teacher. I mean, that is really ironic to be kicked out of school so many times, and now you ended up in education, and you are a teacher.
God is amazing.
I know, like, how can that be?
It's
and
amazing.
then an inspirational and motivational speaker.
And that's what the book is. The book is so deep. It's a must-read book. It's a must-read book.
Wow. Now, I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but let's just say one of the places you went and spoke at. I think you made mention of one child coming up to you and saying that you really helped him out. You
right.
said something that his dad couldn't get through to him. How often do you hear that?
Every speaking engagement I've ever done, somebody came with me and told me how much I impacted.
Well, what about a parent? Does a parent
a lady called me from Memphis, I think. She told me that she was crying when she went home. She said I was able to do something for her. She said she haven't cried in 30 years. She said she cried tears of enjoyment because she can forgive herself for letting her child go down the road. And she said I gave her insight to not give up on her child. So really? she felt after hearing me speak that her child can be successful from wherever her child at right now in life. She said I opened her eyes to show her not to give up on them. And
because, of course, as a parent, it can be pretty easy when your child is constantly getting into trouble.
I leave every show, I tell them I wrote a quote that say I cannot walk in my future with my foot in my past.
Wow. That is good.
That quote is mine. If you look at it, I cannot walk in my future with my foot in my past, and that's just saying if you sit and think about what you used to be, you can never move forward.
Exactly.
You got to let it go and start over.
Look, I concur. We got to let it go, and we'll be right back. You all, we only have a minute, so I am going to let Tommie tell us just briefly what to expect in this book.
The book is not only just for kids, it's for a lot of adults. And what you'll get, the message you'll get out of that book is to never give up, never wait forever to do something that's going to last forever. And it just give you insight on how you could start over regardless of where you at. It's not an expiration date on success. And the way you get the book, you just go online, Google A Dark Journey to a Life Future, or my website, which is www.TommieMabry.com. That's Tommie with an I-E instead of a Y. Mabry, M-A-B-R-Y.
Okay, in less than 10 seconds, what would you tell a troubled child or a troubled teen or a troubled teenager, elementary student, or whatever? What would you tell a troubled child or either a parent? of a troubled child.
Never limit yourself to what you can be in life. Never limit it. And to the parent, never give up on the child, regardless of where they at in life. You can is a better result from it if you put God first.
All right. Well, you all, I know you heard that, and thanks to Trill for tuning in. Know that a merry heart do it good like a medicine. Therefore, I bid you to take a little time out of your day and enjoy a hearty laugh. Okay.
This has been a Royal Touch production.